Scriptures. And at this moment, the person who knows Harry the longest, the oldest friend, he's president of Class A Midwest League of Peoria Chiefs. From Peoria, Pete Vonachen.
Good morning. Not going through the litany of all the celebrities here. Good morning to everyone, and thank you, Father Smith. Yes, I am Pete Vonachen, a friend of Harry's for 48 years, and today he put me to the supreme test of our friendship, because first I had to usher, now I have to give this is not a eulogy, it's a tribute. And I know I won't have to drive the hearse because he always told me I was the lousiest driver in the world. Our friendship and devotion towards each other, I think, was more like brothers. I think maybe I was a brother that Harry never had. But he has given me a trip through life that is hard to describe. Moments that I will cherish in my heart forever and give us the true meaning of friendship. I heard Father Smith say the Mass of the Resurrection. Please, Father, don't resurrect him. We couldn't go through this again. When you were doing that clapping, I thought, stop, he's going to jump out of there. Many of us know Harry through baseball, broadcasting, the media, the business, or just seeing him at the ballpark. But our association was different. It was entirely personal. Talking, laughing, traveling together, playing gin rummy, or dinner with our wives. And through all of this, my wife Donna and Dutchie created a strong bond. They had to because they spent a lot of time together without us. I always thought it was great to go to the Frank Maloney, I cheated him out of a ticket. I always thought it was great to go with Harry to the ballpark and not have to buy a ticket. But when Dutchie and Donna went shopping, I found out it was the most expensive free ticket I ever had. To illustrate our very close relationship, we went on many vacations, trips, or whatever together. We were married 25 years. And I said, well, Donna, we've been married 25 years, so let's take a little vacation. Where would you like to go? She said, Hawaii. But do we have to take Harry? Time will not permit me to tell you about all the good things, and yes, I want to talk about only the good things, because that's all we had, good times. It was no secret that Harry enjoyed a drink or two, and especially with his friends. And Harry's stamina and energy was legendary. A lot of people would say, it's nice that you're Harry's friend. He always talks about you. I'd say he has to talk about me. I've been his buddy for 48 years and survived. Not many people can say that. And I lost my best friend. But I think I'm going to live longer. They say, what does it take to be such a close friend to Harry's? I said, it's easy. Unlimited stamina, a cast iron stomach, keep your bag packed, and your divorce lawyer on retainer. How do you think your stomach would feel if after a night on Rush Street, now you got to top it off at 4 in the morning with a couple of banana daiquiris and hotsy-totsies? I haven't liked bananas ever since. In all respect, Father, I think I have the record for attending 8:30 Mass at Holy Name Cathedral with a hangover. After a tough Saturday night, I would have to drive Harry to the ballpark about 11 o'clock, so I'd slip over here for Mass. I'd get back to the hotel, and Harry'd be waiting, all bright-eyed, good night's sleep, full of enthusiasm. He'd slap me on the back and say, didn't you have a good time last night, buddy? You don't look so good. I said, yeah, right, Harry. The absolute thrill of a lifetime, and many of us here have experienced this, was to ride with Harry when he was driving. Without a doubt, the worst driver in the world. He had to be a driver's ed school dropout. I rode with Harry probably more than anyone here. Dutchie would always make me ride in the front seat, the death seat. She'd curl up on the floor in the back seat. The only thing we would say, Hail Mary, full of grace. It was always a great experience to have Harry ride with me when I was driving. He'd get in the car, and the first thing he'd say, it's hot in here, turn on the air conditioning. I'm punching around. He said, get WGN on the radio, and I'd be punching the radio. Call Dutchie, I forgot to tell her something, now I'm trying to use the phone. Get Rush Limbaugh. Boy, it's cold in here, turn the heat up, and I'm working on rear-ending everybody, trying to drive through this traffic, and I'm a little country boy from Peoria where a traffic jam is 6-car backup at a left turn lane. Said, call Ed Lynch, that was a lousy trade. See if the socks are on. I'm weaving through traffic again, and then he looked at me and he said, boy, are you a terrible driver. One day we were late getting to the ballpark, and you know, Harry never missed 1 minute of any game that he ever had to broadcast. And we got all tied up on traffic at Belmont, and now he's getting excited, and he said, boy, we got to get out of here, we got to get out of here. Now frustration sets in, and he says, just go up on the sidewalk, just go up on the sidewalk, I know the cops. I said, well, you may know the cops, but I hope you know the relatives of those people we're going to kill when I go up on the sidewalk. Hey, I'm having fun. I'm running a little over, Father Bob, but they're liking it, so I'm going to... Harry's great for stopping in a bar, ordering a drink. There'd be no action in there, so he'd say, let's go. I said, Harry, I got a full drink. He said, I'd just leave it. I said, where are we going? He said, I don't know. If I gave the people in this cathedral today all the drinks we left on the bar in 48 years, there's not one of you that would pass a breathalyzer test. I was privileged to go with Dutchie to make the final arrangements at All Saints Cemetery. And I said, Dutchie, I'm glad you chose this type of interment, because Harry and I'd be driving, and he used to laugh, and he says, boy, when I die, I hope they don't cremate me. I'll burn forever. We always used to talk about... Go ahead, I'll wait. I'll wait till you catch up. We always talked about donating our bodies to science. That was one of our big conversations. We thought, well, they'd get not too bad of bodies, but they'd sure be disappointing our livers because they were shot. I could go on forever and tell wonderful stories and experiences during our relationship. And if I could get Jack Buck and Tommy Brenneman, Ronnie Santo, Steve Stone, and Jimmy Pearsall in a room and tell Harry Caray stories, we could tape them and sell them for the biggest fundraiser in the history of Maryville. In fact, if we could just get Jimmy Pearsall and Harry in a room, it would be a bestseller. But all these stories are not the only Harry Caray I knew. He was a person whose unlimited energy level went off the charts, a person who loved people and they loved him. We have traveled this entire hemisphere together. People always knew Harry. They waved. They wanted to shake his hand, talk to him. He would respond because, as we all know, Harry never knew a stranger. The young people was his target. And I was told that a marketing genius once said, he didn't know how marketable Harry Caray would be because he doesn't relate to young people. The only thing I can say is this guy must have been the marketing director for Omar Gaddafi. Everyone loved Harry, young and old, because of his zest for life. He was forever young at heart. After a game, Harry would have to be somewhere, or maybe in the last few years he would be just dead tired. He said, let's get going as quick as we can. But invariably, he would stop and sign a few autographs, which turned into 15, 20, 30 minutes. I thought you wanted to get going. Yes, but how can I turn down those little kids? One day at the restaurant, there was a young man in a wheelchair, obviously handicapped and disabled. Harry went over, signed his cap, signed his shirt, had pictures taken with him, and a scene I'll never forget. The mother throwing her arms around Harry and saying, "Harry, you don't know what you just did for my son." We went out and got in the car. Harry looked at me and said, "So we think we got problems." We were taking a walk one day, and way up above, somebody said, "Hey, Harry, hey, Harry." I said, "Harry, God's calling." Well, you know, and Harry in his brass way says, "What do you want, God?" But it wasn't God. 9 or 10 stories up on the building was a scaffold with 4 construction workers. And of course, Harry responded immediately, and they hollered back, "Can we get an autograph?" Sure. The workers lowered the scaffold 9 or 10 stories, and for 15 minutes they stood there, shook his hand, and he signed autographs. He made their day. These were his people, the construction workers, the bus drivers, the cab drivers, the bartenders, and just the guy on the street. Also, the other Harry Caray I knew was compassionate, had a zest for life with an endless desire to be with people. He'd dive into a crowd like everyone was his best friend. Now Harry's up there in heaven with the old gang. And you know, because of our faith, we realize most of us must make a stop in purgatory for a little attitude adjustment, then hopefully on to heaven. Not Harry. He's in Ben Stein's limo. Probably got St. Peter driving, because we all knew it took a saint to drive for Ben. Where Jack Gone has tipped the doorman, the valet parker, and the maitre d'. Gino Michelotti, Gina Giorgetti's is cooking the steaks. Emmett O'Neill is mixing the drinks. Bill Beck has got his shower set up there in center field. Harry's leaning back, lifting his glass, ready to call the game and saying, "Holy cow, this is not so bad. I can drink again." I love Harry's son Chris's line. He said, "If my dad knew what was going to happen, he sure would have had a couple drinks." From a selfish standpoint, I have lost the best friend a person could ever have. But more importantly, the world has lost a giant of a man whose love for the game of baseball and the love of people should be an inspiration to all of us. An inspiration to live your life in the fullest. Have fun. Cherish every moment. Baseball needed Harry Caray, and it's hard to imagine the game, the city, the world without Harry. I sincerely trust that the players and the owners will take a page from the life of Harry and start to recognize the fans. As Harry would say, they made it all possible. For the good of the game, every player should be like Harry Caray. I hope they really think about this, because if Harry was here, he would be right there signing autographs and talking to the fans. Our relationship has also put a new meaning on the word friends. Today was the day we were going to meet at spring training, as we have for over 20 years. And poof, just like that, my friend is gone. If you have a good friend, maybe you should put your arm around him or her and give them a little hug and say, "I love you, my friend." In this chaotic and wild world that we live in, everybody needs the devotion of a friend. Make an extra effort to respect all your friends, because when it's all said and done, the greatest treasure we have is our friends. I wish to thank Dutchie and the family for the great privilege of talking about my friend, everybody's friend, an honor that I will always cherish. I would like to conclude in using a phrase given to me by Harry's good friend, Jack Brickhouse. As long as one continues to live in the hearts and the minds of the ones they left behind, they're really not gone. Harry had fun with the people, and a lot of people had fun because of Harry. The world will go on without Harry Caray, but I guarantee you it won't be as much fun. I love you, and I will forever miss you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.